Welcome, everybody, to the Fuck Around and Find Out podcast. Today's episode is going to be on responsible dosing. That means not fucking giving the new person a goddamn mind-melting amount of freaking drugs. So we're going to be kind of covering, like, moderate dosing, dosing for, like, what do you call that? Where the people take the little tiny microdoses.
Microdosing?
Yeah, and then, like...
macrodosing?
Is there like a micro
God dosing?
And how abuse of psilocybin would work theoretically, even though it's not possible. So here we go. Today we have Mindful Melting and Psychonautics. Mindful, this is, I believe, his first time on the podcast. It's super awesome to have him on. And he's a big advocate.
Virgin.
Yeah, super big advocate for responsible dosing, which is super awesome. We always have Deadpool and Trim as well. As you can tell by the parrot noises, Trim's here.
Yeah, Trim's here.
Being attacked.
What are you talking about?
Hello.
He's being attacked by a plethora of cloaca at the moment.
That's my entertaining soundboard that I keep ready for you guys.
Oh, the jungle sounds. Ah,
yes. Yeah, it helps me rest and relax.
A wimble way.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
Yeah, you've been drinking a lot.
Not yet, bitches. This is only my second one. I'm just in a good mood.
What the hell happened?
Oh,
you kill a kitty?
No, we went out to the fucking new property and drew out what we're putting in the house.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, we went out there with like the title company and the people that are actually going to set like the foundation and shit. They went like, we want it here, and they went cool. And so everything's fucking set, and the roads they're starting to build fucking shit, the infrastructure out now. So, yay!
Gotta get that shit done. Get done quick.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was super cool. And then Tiniest got to go and pick like a fuckload of wildflowers. So she enjoyed herself.
Had by all.
Yeah, she got out there, and there was a bunch of because it's been raining like a lot, and so there's just giant fields of wildflowers, blue bonnets, everything. And so Tiniest was just out there going ham. And she got a box full of wildflowers to give to Mom. And so it was a good day ahead by all. It's a good day ahead by all.
You know what I was just thinking?
We
need an intro song.
Yeah, we do. I like the heavy breathing we're getting from Psychonautics. It's a great intro.
Hi.
It's just like dinosaur noises over here.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, what would be our intro song? It had to be something fucked up because I mean this is the same place that. And I was trying to explain to somebody today, like in my regular everyday normal life, like Ron Jeremy units and fucks per minute.
RJU, FM.
Yeah, and how they fit in your everyday life. And they're like, "Are you sure you guys are sober when you do this?" I was like,
Billy Wabbits.
Define sober.
It's just like, is there a way to loosely describe sober?
I mean, like, cops give you a DUI, or I don't know.
I'm not driving. I'm sitting at my
computer. You wake up in somebody else's shitter and don't know how you got there.
What are they going to give me? A CWI, a casting while intoxicated?
Jesus, I bet you somebody would try for that.
Nice, bring it, bitch.
Yeah,
my name is Trim.
Yeah, right.
What?
Oh, what do you guys got for me here? What do you guys consider a like a responsible dose? First off, for like a newbie, let's say somebody's never tried mushrooms before.
Who is that directed at? Our new fellers?
Gotta be.
Well, I mean, anybody that's talking, like I guess it's only us. You guys dominated it. Now they don't even want to talk. They just want to heavily breathe in the microphone.
I guess it depends if they're scared or if they're not scared. That would kind of steer me one direction or another.
Yeah, mindset is key.
Yep,
mindset is key.
So if they're scared, I'm probably not going to recommend 3.5, but
that's what I would recommend, though. I would totally say like no more than an 8.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You guys trying to Are you growing like shitty mushrooms? Holy shit! Like a gram.
Here's what I know. What Farrell? What did you do the other day? 1.5.
Yeah.
But of our top notch stuff, and we were
Wow.
giggling.
I was like trying to chase the keys around on my keyboard. It took me 2 hours to fucking do the show notes because I was trying to.
And they're based like 2
moving.
sentences.
It was. That's all I could do. That was top fucking.
Words are hard.
Yeah.
Words are hard, man. I get it. I know.
That was top.
Any other time he could type whole ass paragraphs, but like eat one mushroom.
Yeah. Then the keys rearranging themselves on the keyboard.
It depends on the strain. So like I have strains that like say golden teachers, right? It's a really easy strain, right? It's easy for everybody. It has a pretty even profile. Everybody kind of knows what the tryptamines are going to do in golden teachers. You know, it's pretty predictable. So if you're going to do golden teachers, I'd say no more than 2 grams for the first time for somebody. If somebody's never been fucked up before or never had psychedelics, you want it to be a fun experience. You want colors to just be brighter, sounds to be prettier, maybe see some auras and some, like wavy walls, stuff like that a little bit, but nothing scary.
I'm going to have to disagree.
Nothing scary.
Because you got to remember, not everybody, this isn't an everyday or every fucking year occurrence for a lot of people. So when they do it, they're trying to chase geometric patterns in the background like a fucking dog chasing a fucking car. They want to close their eyes and they want to smell the colors and fucking, So
they don't want it to be a total waste.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. Don't get me wrong. What you're saying is good for.
Always give them more.
You can't.
So my first experience, I took a god dose. We ate 22 caps. We didn't have like a scale back then. So we just like split 22 caps in half. We did a suicide pact. You die, I die. And like we had like ego death. It was ridiculous. We were young and stupid. We didn't know any better. We just knew how to identify them.
Okay, so now you did hear the intro to this episode, right?
Well, I thought you brought me on to do I was the chaos that you brought on the show. I thought that was why I'm here.
We all know that's my role.
That's Deadpool. That's fucking.
I mean, you can be Death's assistant, but the role's already taken, darling.
And then like Trim's dad, like he's gotta be the responsible one.
I'll turn this car around, kids. Just remember that.
I hate the whole bag, Dad. I destroyed the evidence. Don't worry.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Don't eat what?
What are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Here,
littering and oh man, negative reinforcement. But no, it's just like I try not to dose people. Well, all right, some of the stuff I have is very, very strong. So I had a really good friend over, and it was the first time they've ever recreationally did psychedelics. And so we sat down, and I mixed up some like 1.15 grams of Lizard King and some orange juice, and they drank it. Now, consequently, it turned the orange juice purple, but that's just Lizard King's really fucking angry. And we had a great time. Like we watched Encanto, and I made fucking food, and everybody had a great time. They just gave him plushy, soft blankets, and they were like, "This is so fucking fun!" And so it was a lot of fun.
Don't get me wrong. I understand that the 2 grams. But like I said, sometimes, like if you're at a park, you're at a fucking car, or even just those people that do it for the, they fast for a fucking week. They don't fucking drink anything else because it's their annual fucking get out of head shit. But it's I would say if you're gonna do it once in a long, long while, I'm sticking my magic number is 5.
Dude, I just couldn't imagine giving somebody 5 of fucking Lizard King for their first go.
Well,
that's like 3 doses of Lizard King.
Well, it is. But I mean, but then again, okay, I will give you
They're
that.
They're going to be couch locked, drooling on them fucking self, wondering if their penis fell the fuck off because they have to piss, but they can't find it.
And that's
okay.
They're gonna piss your fucking sofa. Is what's gonna happen.
Well, that's why you don't. That's why set and setting is important. It's at their house, so they're comfortable.
So you let them pee their own sofa.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
I also do a yearly.
These are the
heavy
consequences of my own actions.
No?
But my yearly big dose, I usually go out into the woods and go camping. That's my thing.
And see, and to me,
But
like,
that's for an
I
experienced person too, though.
I've watched enough horror shows to know that you're about to catch the long dick of Sasquatch if you fucking do that shit.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick.
Yeah, it's That's just asking for a rapening, right? Like,
What, in the woods?
yeah, especially up by you
I'd
in
be
fucking
worried.
Canada.
You sure got pretty lips.
Yeah.
You sure got a pretty
That's
mouth.
it.
I'm not living in the swamps of Louisiana here.
Yeah.
Do you got Sasquatches and shit up there? I've seen Canada.
And
They got fucking crazy shit up there.
they got Mises up there.
Yeah.
Mises.
Mises to pieces.
But like I said, that's my experienced person's once a year thing, not an every time or the first time kind of thing for sure.
Do you go by yourself or do you take a babysitter with a gun?
I bring someone along with me, yes.
You mean like a
Brings
tranquilizer gun,
Deadpool
or
with his
No, like a gun.
I hire my wife to come watch me.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I couldn't
That-
trust my fucking wife.
You
What do you
stab
think
you,
my
leave
wife
it
would do?
Yeah.
No,
Stab
my
you with a
wife would-
Sharpie.
Yeah, she'd be like, so are you high yet? And I'm like, I've been high for like 2 hours. I have no idea where we're at, and you're speaking really fast. And she'd be
Right
like,
up the onion.
and then it just make it worse. She'd be like, do you remember that time when we found that giant spider? And I'd be like, fuck, god damn it. You know?
Dude, I don't know if I told you guys this, but if you ever make me mad and I'm ever around when you're driven, I will make your life a living hell, because all you have to do is look at them and like slap them on the arm. Oh, got that. Oh, man, you got to watch it. And then when they're looking, they think, oh, what did it save me from? And then you itch your own arm like this. Now, they
Fuck.
think you slapped on them.
Asshole.
And now there's one on you, and their whole night is ruined. All
Oh,
right,
man,
you're welcome.
like,
You're welcome.
I've done something very, very similar. I think I've told the story before. Like where we'd go and we'd work these festivals, and these people would get in there and just like, you're in public in a fucking festival. Why the hell are you gonna do like 50 sheets of fucking acid, right? Like, you're gonna get so fucking blazed out of your mind. You're not even on the same goddamn planet. These guys are like jumping over from blade of grass to blade of grass, thinking that it's like if they don't land on the blade of grass, they're gonna fall into a pit of fucking lava and burn to death. So these guys like get hurt, get picked up by security and herded into the medical tent. And some of them are just sitting there just making one high-pitched fucking note, rocking back and forth. Other ones are just freaking the fuck out. And some of them are being assholes. The ones that are being fucking dicks, right? Like, similar to what Deadpool would do. Like, one time, and I'm not too proud of it, I was sitting there and I like, and this guy was being just totally obnoxious. He was I guess say like, he came from a very wealthy family, and so he's super fucking entitled, and him getting just really, really high made him like the biggest broy fucking entitled fuck stick you've ever met in your life, right? Like, it was definitely a personality enhancer for him, and his personality should have been swallowed, right? Like, he was a douche. And so I was just sitting there across from him, just staring fucking right at him, just to get him just a little paranoid. I reach over there and I just like a monkey picking a fucking flea off of another monkey, just pick something off him and squish it and throw it on the ground. And I just wait a second, and then like as soon as I was corner of his eye, pick something else off him. Like, God damn, you're covered in spiders. Fucking lost his goddamn shit. Like, rolling around on the ground. We ended up giving him like fucking 10 of fucking Ativan and then shipping him off to the fucking hospital to work it out. But yeah, he needed the Ativan anyway, because he was like just being a total dick, man. He was like trying to get naked and jack off, and he was trying to hit on everybody that came along and groping people on, like, you know, just groping random people, you know. And he tried to start fights with everybody and tried to fight the tent wall, and then they ended up humping the cot, like literally trying to have sex with the fucking cot. Like, he was just total broy fucking douchebag. But
So
we were gonna dart him anyway, but it was more fun when we thought he had spiders.
So Pharaoh, if you weren't at a festival and you were gonna have, maybe not you, but like somebody was gonna have a whole bunch of people come and trip balls on their property, and they wanted to be safe just in case somebody freaks the fuck out like that guy and they start ruining everybody else's trip, what would be the compounds that they could get their hands on that would help subdue somebody so they don't have to go to the hospital?
So you're gonna look.
It's called chloroform, and it's made from bleach.
Sleepy time spray. No, but basically anything that's an SSRI, so like any sort of antidepressant is going to be an SSRI. It's a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, and those are basically trip killers. If you get fucking force Xanax or some shit down their goddamn throat, it's going to kill the trip. Like, it's going to end it within 20 minutes. Like, that's it. It's done. It's over. And they're back to sobriety. But, yeah, I mean, so you have people who get their trip killers before they go on these super crazy, super hardcore trips.
And a lot of people, just knowing they have a trip killer there helps with their trip.
Yeah.
Less anxiety.
So you see people with like Zoloft or something like that, which is like regular. It's readily available. Almost everybody knows somebody that's on some sort of fucking antidepressant. And but people who are on those SSRIs can't take shrooms because they won't get fucking high. The same time about it is it works like Narcan for fucking shrooms.
So it works like, even though it won't take your depression away instantly, that takes weeks. It would kill a trip, though?
Oh, yeah. No, like fucking Narcan. Yeah. It kills a trip real fast. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you're done.
Nice.
How did I not know that?
Yeah. Because science?
I know science, motherfucker. That's
you never heard of trip killers?
I've heard of narc, of course. But no, I've never. But you're saying that it's like a 20-minute thing and they're done?
That's it.
Awesome.
You're fucking completely back to sober.
I've never even heard of this before.
Yeah, we use basically any sort of SSRI as a trip killer. Like,
you did not know about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty common knowledge, I
thought Deadpool knew about everything.
I didn't realize that it would work like that as a trip killer.
Yeah,
I knew that I knew that if you had a bunch in your bloodstream because you took it for months, that it would probably block most of it. But I was thinking just like Xanax and stuff like that. But
no, I know that if you're on them, you can't get fucked up. But I did not know
also
that if
you can use it like Narcan.
And you pop a Xanax that you're done.
You're done. Yep.
I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
I'm
it's about 20 minutes right now. It's about 20. It takes about 20, 30 minutes, depending on your digestion. Like if you have an empty stomach, faster. If you've eaten, longer. But it's a trip killer. We use injectable forms like for EMS and in a hospital. Now, most of that stuff you don't want to inject intramuscularly because it takes a long time. But you'll use something like Ativan or Haldol to knock them down, and then give them an SSRI to level that out and get rid of them. Yeah. So just end the trip. And then they feel like assholes because it's like the trip ends, they remember everything. So overall, I mean, it works. I wouldn't rely on having SSRIs on you as a civilian for killing trips of your friends you just gave fucking 20 goddamn grams to, because they might, think they're a rabid goddamn chipmunk and bite your fucking face off while you're trying to shove pills down the throat. Or you might look like some terrible bad guy, and they're gonna freak the fuck out because you're like, here, no, dude, take this. And they're like, last time I took stuff, the walls are melting. You're trying to kill me, And it's not going to go well. So I wouldn't rely on SSRIs. I've seen people who have made a drink beforehand, right, where they take their SSRI. I'm using SSRIs. Remember, they're selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. There's a fuckload of them. Most of them are antidepressants. So it's like I don't need to name one name brand because there's like 300 of them commonly commonly prescribed in America, and then probably 1,000 of them commonly prescribed in the world, as long as it's an SSRI. So I've seen people make drinks beforehand where they take a little bit of orange juice or champagne or something to hide the taste and crush up one of the fucking pills and put it in there. And like, you just have like this like shot glass of oh shit juice fucking ready in case one of their buddies goes ape shit and then make them do the shot. And it hits a lot faster that way because it's already broken down. Yeah, that would be something if you were going to be a trip sitter, a babysitter, having one of those around probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
See, when I do that, I bring a watch because most of the time when people get messed up, it's because they think the time is not going on anymore. They think they're frozen and it's never going to end. And you can calm them down just by simply showing them the watch and how the watch is moving and time is going by and that they're almost done. I can't believe I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
Make sure it's not a digital watch. Those just stay frozen.
Yeah. What am I, 4 years old? I have a fucking real watch. I have a man's watch.
But yeah, so no, I don't. I'm for responsible dosing, but I know what strains I'm growing. I know how strong my shit is, and I try to make it a pleasant experience. I want people to enjoy it and want to go back to it. I look more at mushrooms as so. Damn it, girl! Jesus, you were over there opening Amazon packages, and now you're like buzzing the world with your microphone. You're trying to kill us.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do something, you can always go up there to the top and just click on the mute, and it will mute your temporarily mute your mic until you unclick it.
Unless it's a present for me, then you can do that live on the air.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't. Nobody likes you, so nobody's getting you presents.
Damn it.
Anyway, fucking whatever the hell we're talking about. It's probably important, but not important.
That's all right.
So yeah, no. So like, I'm for all responsible, moderate dosing. I want people to have a good time, so they come back to doing some more mushrooms, and just because it's good for them. Like, I don't know, man. To me, taking a moderate dose and then going to see Avatar, or taking a moderate or slightly more than moderate dose so I can stand my in-laws, like it works. It's better than me taking a bunch of being couch locked and staring at a wall. But
yeah,
for everybody, it's different. And then I don't know, man. Like, has anybody ever taken and had a negative experience with somebody that's tried it for the first time?
You know what? A long time ago, I had my friends over, and this girl was going out with at the time. She was working, so we all just started having a great time. We're all talking about grinding up unicorn wings because everything's magical, everything's funny. The walls are all changing colors. It looks great. And then she comes back. Everyone's having a good time. So now she feels like she's been left out. So then she starts up. Now, because she's in a bad headspace because, they're already started without me, blah, blah, blah. She has a bad time. And she's like, can you turn the fan off? Did you hear that? The fridge just told me to kill myself. I'm like, maybe you should go to the bedroom and do it. But I mean, yeah, set and setting is important. So it's but I guess don't go in that's probably a bad mistake coming in after everyone started, especially if you feel uncomfortable, because everything's gonna get a lot worse or a lot better depending on your mindset.
I've enjoyed babysitting people. If I come in late and everybody's all fucked up, I don't mind being the guy that's getting cookies and fucking juice and shit to people and just talking to them and just watching them. Sometimes people are fucking fascinating. I watched this one couple. We had a couple over, and I had to get up for work the next day, so I wasn't going to do shit. And they came over, they did some mushrooms, they watched a movie, and it was just watching every fucking emotion in the entire world go across their face in 2 hours. It was great. It was amazing. And who I knew that Little Mermaid was that fucking amazing. But
Under the sea.
Don't get me started, man. They redid the lyrics.
Life is much better down where it's wetter. Just wait and see.
They redid the fucking
And I'm not.
lyrics.
Don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it.
It's.
Do not ruin my classics, Farrell. I know what you're about to
I
say.
did it. They redid it.
You're bringing
They
it
hired
up, though. I wouldn't have
they
known if
hired
you didn't do it. No.
So they hired the original fucking person to come in and redo the fucking lyrics. All right, so they redid the lyrics on the little woke mermaid. So they redid the fucking lyrics on the one where they're like talking "Kiss the Girl." They redid the fucking lyrics from "Kiss the Girl" to now it's all about consent.
Ask for the lips, the one between the hips. What the fuck?
No, but it's just they redid all the fucking lyrics to make it about to be just a lesson in consent. And did you also see that they got rid of the fucking seagull?
What? No, I didn't see any of this shit because I'm not watching this.
It hurts, man. They fucked up Little Mermaid so bad. They got rid of the fucking seagull. He's no longer a seagull. He's some sort of fucking blue-footed booby thing. And he doesn't even funny anymore. It's not even voiced by the same like a funny guy. It's voiced by this actress who's she's a big proponent of like activism. So it's like yeah, man. They fucking vocalized Little Mermaid, ruined it all.
I would never watch that ever.
They had that. What's that big angry fat lady that shits and sinks?
Eureka? No. Medusa? No. Ursula.
Yeah. So the big angry fat lady that like shits and sinks from what is that? What is that movie where she's like, it's coming out of me like lava? You know, the fat white lady.
It's Ursula. I just told you what it was.
Well, they made her Ursula. She's supposed to be a comedian, and it's a female comedian who is best known for shitting in a sink while wearing a pink bridesmaid dress. Is now fucking Ursula
from Bridesmaids. She's Ursula.
Yeah,
I don't watch the same movies as you guys apparently.
No, dude.
What's her fucking name? Somebody, who's our Googler?
All right, I'll Google it. Jesus Christ, Bridesmaids, the one that shit in the sink. And they talk about the heavy set chick, or you talk about the one that shit in? Yeah, don't look at me. No. Although that is the funny part, but she looks like Ursula.
Yeah, she's wearing a purple fucking dress and shitting in a goddamn sink.
What?
Hold on.
Ursula from Bridesmaids.
Never saw it. Sorry.
Ursula,
I'm gonna put
Bride, Little Mermaid. Here we go. Vanessa? No.
If you guys go to the podcast, go to the FAFO and just general chat. And I'm gonna throw it in there real quick, so everybody can fucking go and see what the fuck the lady I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
I'm just not.
I love the bird tonight. It's actually got rhythm. I don't know what it's singing, but it's singing.
Oh, yeah.
That girl. That one. What's her name?
That's a different bird than you usually hear.
Oh, that's
I don't know what you're doing to that bird, but she likes it.
He is singing. He's a 30-year-old bird. That one.
The gray one.
Yeah.
What's her? Does anybody remember her fucking name? This bit Melissa McCarthy. McCarthy.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's her name, right?
no way.
Yeah, she was in The Bridesmaid, where she was sitting in a sink. Because the other one's puking in the toilet, the other one's shitting in the street. You don't remember that movie?
No.
Yeah, that's her, Melissa fucking McCarthy. I just googled her. They made Melissa fucking McCarthy fucking Ursula.
Wait. So are you talking about a live action movie or something?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Of course I'm not going to watch that bullshit. I thought you said they redid a fucking cartoon from my childhood.
No, it's a live action one.
You ruined my life.
Beyonce's daughter, Ayahuasca, or whoever her name is.
Fucking eggs.
What's her fucking name? It starts with an A. It's something stupid like ayahuasca. It's not ayahuasca, but it's something like that.
Ayahuasca?
But they have her as Little Mermaid, which is fine. But then they have, but like Ursula, come on, like one of the historically amazing bad guys from everybody's fucking childhood with a deep baritone voice. And they have the sink shitter as fucking Ursula. Man.
I guess she looks like Ursula to me, dude.
Well, I mean, in that picture, yeah. Because she's literally screaming, shitting in a sink.
Don't stare at me! Don't look at me! Is what she's screaming.
Shit in the sink, she shits and sinks. Shitting and sinks, she sits and sinks.
She sinks and
Everything's,
shit.
everything's better when you're a shitting and sinks. But, yeah. Oh, I gave up drinking Bud Light. I'm drinking Flight now. Yuling Flight.
Yeah.
That seems to be a common occurrence on the interwebs.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on. They have a middle-aged dude celebrating 365 days of girlhood. Now, that's not womanhood. That's girlhood. Remember, he's an actor who likes to pretend he's a 9-year-old. So
I am not familiar with the guy. I've heard of it, but I don't know who the guy is. Girl,
so
whatever the proper word is, I meant to say that.
This individual is currently under investigation for grooming minors.
All right. This is probably a good time for a goat bleat.
Anyway. Okay, so responsible fucking drugs. Responsibly drugging.
Yes.
So
I'm more responsible with my cartoons. All right.
You don't want to just randomly drug people either. Drug people with their fucking consent. Don't surprise people. Surprise!
No Bill Cosby. Yeah.
You want a pudding pop?
A putty pop?
Do you guys have like a checklist of things that you like to get done before you even take your dose?
Wait, is that a thing?
Snacks, warm fuzzy blanket, Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd's a must.
God damn it! I've never been that organized.
That's about it.
I just try to make sure all my responsibilities for the day are like done, and I'll triple check it. And,
definitely.
I'll
Definitely
turn
don't
off
want
my
anything
phone
on
and my
your mind.
computer.
All I make sure is that my wife's driving. Like, that's pretty much it. I guess that's probably the most. Like, the dog's fed and my wife's driving.
Yeah, I don't usually drive anywhere. I sit. I get where I'm going to do it at, and I stay there.
I take it right as we're about to walk out the door. So by the time we've arrived, like it's just hitting me, so that I get that perky come up right as I'm about to like have to go in and deal with
my wife is the only person who's ever been with me that knew that I was doing them.
Oh no, I tell them. They're like, "Oh, you're in a good mood." Ha! It's just the drugs. But they don't think they believe me. I don't think they believe me. Like, I mean, there's two of them that do because like,
I'm one of those weirdos. I don't like to go out in public when I'm sober, much less when I'm fucked up. You know, I have real bad anxiety around large crowds.
Dude, I am way nicer when I'm on drugs. Like sober, I'm like, "Oh, you're staring at me. I'm gonna stare back at you." But like sober, I'm like, "Hi, everybody. How's it doing?" That's great. Yeah, no, man. You know, like somebody talks to me, I actually like answer them instead of just stare at them like they crawled out of the sewer. You know, like it's I'm like, yeah, no, man, dude, like pomegranates are awesome. What do you mean? You know, like I'm happy on freaking drugs, but off drugs, I'm like, you're too close to me and my daughter. But I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm like super protective of my kid because she's my sidekick and she goes everywhere with me. So like if it's just me and her and I'm at the grocery store, I'm like, somebody eyeballing her, like I'm always worried that she's gonna get more than like 5 or 10 feet away from me and somebody's gonna snatch her ass, because she's so cute and tiny.
Right? Can't have that.
Shit,
I'd have to take a trip all the way down there and come kill somebody.
Ah, dude, I am fully capable of like. I believe that Yeah, I believe that I could probably, with like design a very angry way to get my child back. Yeah,
things are gonna happen. Shit, huh?
Yeah, things would happen.
A little clown right in on
a set of skills.
Yeah, they wake up in a room when a little clown rolls in on a fucking tricycle.
Don't even let them wake up. They always have a chance to escape that way. But yeah, you don't let the bad don't make overly complicated bad things for bad guys to get out of. That's a TV show. That's not how it works in real life. Look at how the freaking cartels work, man. They just like, oh well, you're gone.
I made you a tire necklace. Let's see if we can light it on fire.
It's called fire lancing. If anybody wants to Google it. Yeah, don't Google that. Fuck, God damn it. don't do that.
You've asked them to download a lot of weird shit today. Your porn selection is going to be very bad this evening.
Yeah, don't Google that. Don't Google that. Oh, dude, have you ever picked up anybody else's phone and just said like a bunch of random fucking shit into it? And then, like, even when it's off, like it's just on the blank screen, you can pick up your friend's phone or your wife's phone and just say like a bunch of keywords: shopping for car, avocados, milk, toast, wanting new dress, stuff like that. Right? Just say those words, and the motherfucking thing, all their ads on their freaking shit will be about new cars, avocados, dresses, stuff like that, right?
And nipple ring.
I always fuck with, like, if somebody's at work and they leave their phone alone for 2 seconds, they're getting some weird ass advertisements.
Yeah.
Like flavored lube. Can a squirrel fit in a rectum? Rectal abuse. Like, just like all sorts of shit, man. Like,
rectum damn near killed them.
Anal wart remover cream. Just like all sorts of shit. Just rattle off like as fast as you can, like a fuckload of shit, and then put their phone back down. So they're like, "What is wrong with my Google ads?" They're like, Facebook's the worst about listening to that.
I swear it wasn't me.
Yeah, but the bad part is they've given all the information to the FBI and everything else. And
Facebook's bad about that.
Yeah, they're horrible. They're horrible human beings.
Dude, I'm probably on every fucking watch list known to man, but I'm just not interesting enough, right? Like, there's a threshold of interesting you have to be to get rated, and I'm just not that interesting. Because, like, what do you do? Well, I don't have like some cool membership to a cool ass cult or anything. It's like, what does he do? He seems like a big threat. Well, currently, sir, he's at home making bread with his daughter. Yeah, let's skip that one this month. The next month rolls around. What's he doing? I believe he's washing the sofa coverings. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and skip him this month too. So I'm just not I'm interesting, but just not interesting enough.
I think you're just perfect, Farrell. Perfectly fucking boring.
So are you saying the fact that I might be like making nuclear reactors out of fire extinguishers or fire alarms is interesting?
Actually, I don't think they would even fuck with you for that, because there was that Boy Scout who bought a bunch of like
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, the uranium, the red uranium plates from like dollar stores and shit like that, like Goodwill, and made his own radioactive nuclear thing in the backyard. And they didn't even fucking give a shit until he irradiated his neighborhood. So
I saw the pictures of that guy and I saw his face, and
you're like, that's exactly the type of person.
No, I just couldn't tell. Like, what do you think? Do you think that was from meth use, or was that from radioactivity?
I think that was well, dude, he was a Boy Scout at the time. I think that was just full from.
Well, he got caught again later too, doing it again.
So much ADD that he just like was like, wow, he was like awake like a fucking owl. I remember his eyes, his like crazy spiky red hair, and his fucking eyes were like huge.
They said in the article he had some drug issues. So when I saw the face like that, I was just like, I don't know what radioactivity does. It might do that. Meth does that.
Americans.
I don't know anybody firsthand who's been irradiated. I know. I mean, massive amounts.
Oh, did you guys see where they lost a fucking one of those radioactive, like super radioactive plutonium pellets in the fucking Grand Canyon area?
Nice.
They got a Homer Simpson there or what?
The fucking U.S. Geological Survey guys use these super radioactive fucking pellets to, like, I don't know, like time things with GPS satellites and shit like that. But it's super fucking radioactive. Like if you touched it, it would physically fucking burn you, and maybe probably your like skin would boil off and you'd lose your arm over a period of a couple of days. But if you put it in your fucking pocket, it would kill you with exposure in like 45 minutes. So it's super fucking radioactive. And they promptly lost it along the trail in the Grand Canyon.
They do. Yeah. The government doesn't have any Geiger counters, or
you know what? I bet you they're all broken. I mean, look at the government. Like, come on, man.
You're asking an awful lot. You're asking an awful lot there, Trim.
Do you know how many times? Do you know how many times it's happened where the government goes and buys like super bulk shit? This has happened several times in the last Gulf War and the one before that, where they had bought huge amounts of bulk equipment, and then they go to pop the crate open, and it's like just bolts of fabric, or it's like not what they fucking advertised. Like it's not. They got sold.
What about that news article a while back in Texas where the husband and wife bought that fucking entire Connex box full of gun cases, and they get home and they're all full of brand new.
They're all fucking full. There would be no way I'd be like, yeah, those cases, man, totally empty. Like there would be no fucking way. They self-reported. Did you know? Okay, not only did they self-report, but then the government tried to go after them for them.
Yes.
Did you know
that? They got in trouble a little bit. They're like, you're not supposed to own me. Like,
yeah, they're like, no fucking shit. That's why I said, hey, are you guys missing some shit? Because you sold us like 12,000 fucking M4 carbines and associated gear, and all we wanted was these empty cases to flip them. Like, we paid like $20 a case. You guys gave us these full auto fucking weapons and all the gear to go with them. I would have shut the fuck up. I'd been like, nope.
New toys.
What are you talking about? Come look at all these cases. They're all empty.
Yeah. I would have been like, come on.
What's that big hole? Freshly dug hole in the backyard. Never mind.
I'd have just buried the whole fucking Connex and bought another Connex and put it out there and be like, you guys sold me this. Come on out. You want to inspect it? Yeah, it's right here. Just painted the fucking numbers. The paint's still wet.
Yep. I don't know what I would do with that many, but I would figure something out.
I don't know. I wouldn't even try to sell them or move them or do anything. I just hoard them like I would go out there occasionally and swim in them like Scrooge McDuck. Right?
Yep.
Just freedom.
What's that oil they pack guns? What is that oil they pack the guns in?
Creosote. But that's
no. There's oil that they pack the guns
creoline.
in.
It's called creoline.
Yeah, I'd use that for sex.
Yeah, they don't do that with guns. They don't do that anymore. That was the creoline thing. The creoline thing was a long time ago. Now they just rub them down dry, and that's because the modern metals don't really rust like the old metals do. Oh. So, so they wipe them down dry, and then they have a little bit of machine oil, like on certain parts, just a light coating. That's it. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, no, I would be like, nope. I just go up there once in a while and touch them sexually, and then go back, and then dream of days when we have a Mad Max situation, and I get to be warlord. But that'd be basically
it. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
And then, I don't know why that always reminds me of the, like the little lady, the little Asian lady who was like, I'm Ben, like the ordering.
And
yeah,
that was where the guys couldn't. Dude, where's my car? Wasn't it?
Yeah, where they got the tattoo that said, "Dude, whoa," or "Sweet," yeah,
dude. What's it say?
Sweet.
I know, but what's it say? Good times.
Yeah,
We're probably the only 3 people in the world who've seen that movie, but that's okay.
I love that movie.
It was great.
I'm sure at least 5 other people have seen it.
Oh, a whole bunch of people have, but not these youngsters. They never saw that fucking show.
Oh shit, that's true. That's probably like what, 20 years old?
Yeah.
Are you guys talking about Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
She's like, haven't seen it.
Yeah. She's like,
She
what's
just
that?
pops in for a quarter of a second to say, fuck off, guys. I think she's back out again.
Yeah.
Well, if it's up to us, we're just going to fucking ramble. What do you got? We never even had our first time fucking guest like give us his speech on responsible use.
We have a guest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been quiet.
Psychonautics she's been on here enough times that she's fucking semi-regular. But we have a brand newbie who's not even never been he's never even been on a FAFO yet. And like a FAFO Monday, and then he's sitting here all quiet and shit going like, God, what the fuck did I get myself into?
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
Oh no, I know what the podcast is all about. I've heard Deadpool likes to chase bears with a hockey stick.
No, I don't chase them. Attack them.
He does, but only sexually. It's a thing.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Yeah.
This is a judge-free zone.
Don't kink shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, anybody ever had tried to have sex on mushrooms? Is it a thing? Do people have sex on mushrooms?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I masturbated on mushrooms. It was freaking awesome.
Okay, that's really weird, dude.
I was having a bad trip, and I was like, I heard that this works, so I'm going to focus on my dick instead of all the bad thoughts in my head, and it really worked.
Remember what I said about kink shaming?
At least
take it back.
At least your dick didn't start talking to you.
He's like,
I mean, I could see where that could go very wrong. Like, we're like,
stop hurting me, hurting me.
Self Lorena Bobbitt, like
you pussy, don't do it harder. You were a
you
weird
won't
whip.
fucking do it, and you're like, you want to bet?
People say it's an aphrodisiac.
You call yourself
and
a man?
I couldn't understand it until I tried it.
Your fucking dick is everybody who's ever hated you. You're like, you call yourself a man. Damn it. Because I could just see like your penis just fucking yelling at you like this angry fucking worm.
Migano. Talking to you.
They say if you got a headache, you can just rub one out and the headache goes away, and found that works.
That's not true, or I never have a headache ever. And I have headaches all the time.
It works for me, so and you got a bad trip, rub it out.
Okay. We need somebody to take one for the team. And
challenge accepted. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Go take like an absolute shitload of fucking shrooms and rub one out and come back and see if it's helped at all.
All right. I just happen to have something sitting right next to me. Yum, 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 yum.
Okay, not live on the show though.
Yeah, we said go away and come back. Not
Thought you guys said responsibly.
Responsible.
Well, we're not the responsible fappening. It's not going to be a thing. We're not going to babysit the fappening live on it.
Here it comes.
I've never heard of that one. I mean, I think it could work because the dopamine fucking release might clear up your head a little bit. But that's interesting. The jack off trip killer.
I mean, the trip just gets.
I'm not
awesome.
jacking somebody off.
Okay, so it's not killing the trip.
Yeah.
Maybe you can change the flow from going from the dark side to the light side with a little bit.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But
Dopamine.
if your head's in a really bad spot and you're just dwelling on your problems and all
Sounds
kinds
like
of stuff you should have done, and you're just like, all right, well, I can do this right now, and this is going to be awesome. So
But how much of a
sounds like a lawyer's. Sounds like an attorney commercial. Mine's in a bad spot. Just jerk one off.
Jack it.
1-800 jerk it.
Yeah.
888.
Feeling like self-harm? Have you tried masturbation?
It's a good distraction, and it's, you don't have to take a benzo to kill the trip. You can just start with that, see how that goes.
Work up to your trip killer. Are the walls crawling with spiders and your dead grandma's mouth and dentures are trying to eat your soul?
Call us now.
Just jack it. It's like, how are you going to fucking get one? Like, walls are covered in spiders. Your dead grandma's dentures are flying through the fucking air on like fucking spider alligator wings, and you're trying to fucking jack it. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, once you wake it up, then all your focus on all that scary stuff kind of just goes away. You're like, hey, this is pretty crazy right here. This feels different.
Or you have the weirdest, or you've just self-trained yourself to the weirdest fucking Rule 34 goddamn shit you can find.
Yeah,
and
you
now
might develop a new kink.
And now it's just fucking broke.
You've taken some shrooms. You're freaking out. Don't worry. Just fucking rub one out. I like
taking some shrooms, freaking out. Don't worry. Rub one out. We need to make a jingle out of that.
Yeah. Rub it, rub it, rub it.
Well, we need
now grab your Ron Jeremy unit and stroke.
Now we need to start marketing the FAFO cream.
Yeah. Damn it, that's not coming out till Christmas trim. That's a surprise.
Yeah. Damn it.
Damn it, man.
It's the aloe touch. Ooh.
It was coming up with our FAFO TP.
This was so responsible.
It was good in theory, but we knew it wasn't going to work.
No, I mean it worked out really well in the beginning. Like for the first 15 minutes, were almost good.
Yeah, the FAFO toilet paper turned out to be John Wayne toilet paper, so that didn't work out.
What do you mean, John Wayne? What's John Wayne toilet paper?
It's rough and tough and don't take shit off nobody.
Fucking dad jokes.
Yay, Dad! Thank you.
I'll turn this car around. Settle down. Oh wait, hold on.
Where are we going?
Look here, buddy. Yep.
Oh shit! Hey, has anybody ever tried to do like psilocybin infused wine? Has anybody ever done that? Has anybody done that?
I'm doing that, dude.
I have not.
It's the same thing.
The mead.
I'm working on mead right now, but I mean, it's the same thing as just doing honey. If you take honey, you make it tea.
God damn it, cats are fucking the devil's fleshlight. It's the cat.
Cats are the devil.
Jesus Christ, you can even hear it. The cat's talking backwards. Yeah. It's like, anyway, cats are the devil's fleshlights. They're just evil.
Yep.
They're evil. I learned that long time ago.
It's my barn cat, man.
Well, what's making the weird woo, 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 woo? The cat talking backwards? See? It's devil fucking noise right there.
Oh, it's just bad signal.
It's cat. No, it's the cat talking backwards. It's like, I will eat your soul.
Your soul was delicious.
It was like tuna friskies. Yeah. Cat's a devil. Well, anyway, so, but like, psilocybin infused liquor, that's a thing, right? Because it's alcohol soluble.
It's a tincture.
So,
There's tinctures and tonics, not tonics, but you can do the teas, and then you can make tinctures. I do it all the time. It's
what's
all,
the extraction rate? Like, so if say if you were to take like a jar of vodka and throw a bunch of fucking mushrooms in it, if you could grind them up and then strain them out.
Well, here's the thing. This is perfectly. It's there. You can do it any way you want, but you could do this. So you could take a whole glass of 151, say, or a grain alcohol. You want it really, really strong, okay? Now, whatever you put in there, okay, and you let sit overnight, and you get all that shit out of there, and then you strain the alcohol out. You let the alcohol evaporate down to whatever you want. So if you start huge and you want to say you got 5 people coming, okay, and you want to get it done in one shot, all you have to do is take 4 times 5, okay? So let's just say that. Now you need 20 grams. You can put 20 grams powdered in a huge glass and let it evaporate down after you've let it soak.
Like how big of how many Ron Jeremy units of a glass are we?
I was thinking shots, a shot glass. If you were taking let's just say what say 4 shots is what? That's not even a half cup. I mean, what is a shot weigh? It's 1.5 ounce. It's an ounce, right?
A shot's an ounce. Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, not my shots, but a normal shot is an ounce. But you can
shot's like 2 ounces for adults.
Yeah, but you could take the best thing to do is start with a whole fucking rocks glass. Okay, fill the whole thing up with liquor, pour in the powder, and you let it sit. And you put a lid on there, let it sit for a while because you want to let it work. It's magic. You want all that shit out of there. But whatever you put in there,
how long is a while?
Dude, we're probably overnight. I would do like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Oh, so it extracts pretty quickly.
Oh yeah,
because I know it's water and alcohol soluble. That's why I was thinking vodka, because vodka's like basically 50-50, right? Like most vodka's 40%, but if you got 50-50 alcohol, then I think
it doesn't work as well if you don't use grain alcohol. It needs a high proof. Yeah, it needs to. I wonder if any of you guys could find any.
I don't know. Where would we find moonshine?
Where can we find moonshine? But no, but that's the best part is you can take instead of having to eat that thing and chew it all down for a while. Some people hate it. Remember, fucking Zara was there, fucking complaining for hours. You can have that whole thing down so it's a shot glass, right? And then, but there's no chewy bits because you've strained them all out. So basically,
at that point, it's gotta be like angry fucking blue.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we're talking purple black, like my soul.
That's so fun. That's cool as shit. Could you evaporate it down, like say in a
dropper, dude?
Evaporator. And then crystallize it.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I think that they make the crystals of the gods or whatever they call it, right?
They have, but I've done it so dense in my dreams this one time that I used a dropper, so that you did just one drop, not a drop, but the plunger thing. You fill it up, drop it in there, was worth 4 grams.
So like that'd be like 2 to 5 mils is an eyedropper, right? Like eyedropper is like 2.5 to 5 mils, I believe, is a standard eyedropper. So that's pretty fucking legit. That'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, and it's just so easy to get exactly what you want because it's always going to be in there. I mean, as long as you don't let it evaporate, you can divvy it out evenly, and it goes ahead and it mediates everything throughout the whole thing. So not one person has this fucking shroom that's a fucking, it's a god meter. Then the other ones are the parted brothers. But
I like this. I like this idea. I'm gonna definitely try this.
It's the same thing when you make the tinctures with the lion's mane and stuff. Who the hell is Masturbation?
It's the fucking cat. See, it's talking backwards again. Your soul shall be mine. Go towards the light. I shall eat you.
This is God. Walk through the wall. I will remove it for you.
Run at the wall. Yeah. I like that. I like that idea.
That's great stuff. That works really well, and it's also good when you're making, because the alcohol. Yeah, you can hide it so easily. If people, I'm not talking about hiding it like that, but hide the taste of the alcohol, like in a brownie, because now you're just dropping it in a fucking brownie. So now you're making edibles. You can put it in gummies and everything else. And
I like this idea. I think it'd be really fun because I like brewing beers and hard ciders, but it'd be really easy to put like a dropper full in each fucking hard cider, Like,
dude, yeah. And like I said, I'm super excited. I'm sure Van's gonna be all about the fucking blue honey. That's a shit.
Oh yeah,
I got so many plans for that this year. It's gonna be.
yeah.
Glorious.
We're gonna be. So we're probably looking at July having our house done, and then one of the first things.
Throw me a birthday party? Oh,
Sure, come on down. We got plenty of room. But one of the first things that we're going to be doing is throwing our hives up. So, yeah, we should have fucking tons of honey next spring. So, yeah,
it'll be awesome.
Very excited about this. Very excited about this. Because we want to do 4 or 5 freaking hives, but we do like she does the ones that have like 10 supers and stuff. Or 10. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Like the little. She'd have to tell you. She's more of the honey people. But the little frames. Frames, that's what they're called. So she does the ones that have like a shitload of frames in them, and then have a super, and the super has a bunch of more frames in it. And then, like the whole damn thing weighs like several hundred fucking pounds.
Oh,
once
yeah.
it's full of honey.
It can weigh like 40 pounds for just the fucking supers that you put on top. Each one.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing weighs like, God, you have to move them with a fucking pallet thing. Like if you want to freaking move the damn things. Like a hand truck, because they get really heavy.
Oh, but, yeah. Why would you do that? You should have a queen extruder on there, so you actually put that the excluders on there, and then it keeps so when the bees leave the top 2 your supers, they can't get back in. So then you can just take those off and then lid the actual hive itself and just move that one. That way you can put new frames in and everything else.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, she knows that shit. I don't know that shit. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I like the idea. I like this idea. I'd like to make some super, absolutely fucking ridiculously concentrated shit. Down to where I have like this, like a pint jar of just like squid ink black nastiness.
Don't bring that to the AA meetings.
I think I've implicated myself. Yeah, allegedly, I've implicated myself in enough evil doings that I'm probably very well on my yellow brick road to hell. Like with AA meetings, you heard about the AA meetings and the inky cap mushrooms, right?
Yeah. That was what I was looking for. Damn it.
Yeah, inky cap mushrooms, man, they're fucking amazing. You can do an alcohol tincture with those, but honestly, it's just grind them up and put them in the fucking coffee maker. It doesn't take much of them at all to cause the crazy allergy to alcohol, like the emesis. They'll just throw up like fucking their bones. They'll be lucky to have any bones left. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, allegedly. But yeah, man. So I love this. I love this idea about this super concentrated stuff, because it'd be really fun to make like a hard cider, like a braggot is one of my favorite things to make with apples. So it's like apple juice that's brewed in the style of a beer. So it has like, some grains and stuff in there and a little bit of hops, but it's primarily, instead of replace the water in a light beer with apple juice, basically, right? And it's called braggot, and it's fucking awesome. And it's big foamy head, like a really good beer, but not bitter at all. It's more like, it's a hard cider. And it's got like the mouth feel of a real rich beer, and it's really good stuff. And I've made a lot of it. I call it Dr. fucking, what the hell was it called? I had a freaking cool ass picture I put with it, but it was really like, it was disturbing. It was a very disturbing picture. It was an apple carved into a jack-o'-lantern.
Was disturbing? I don't believe it.
It was a well, like I love to do all the disturbing shit. But it was like a jack-o'-lantern made as a Dr. Lonely's. That's what it was called. Dr. Lonely's. It's an apple. It's an apple that's carved into the shape of a pumpkin, like a pumpkin carving. It's a really disturbing picture. Who's doing drugs? Who?
I heard somebody's doing a snippity snip.
Somebody's doing drugs.
I heard it. I seen it. Who is it?
I got allergies. It might have been me.
Yeah, sure. Allergies.
I got.
If I can't do it, you can't do it. That's how it works.
When it comes to say if some newbie person, like a friend of yours, is like, hey, like I heard you like into mushrooms. I'd like to try mushrooms. How do you handle that with like some rando friend wanting to try them for the first time? Do you just like, here, try this handful of shit, get really super fucked up, or are you gonna just try to ease them into it?
If it's a
I'm going
friend,
to try to ease them into it.
yeah.
Unless you're never going to see that person ever again or hear from them. And then it doesn't really matter at that point, right?
Right. Fuck them.
You just give them the standard dose and just, tell them a few safety precautions and send them on their way.
Ask for a safe word, then throw it in the garbage. Yeah.
You're not gonna babysit them?
I tried to babysit somebody one time, and my face transformed into the devil. I didn't find this out until later, but they went up into their bedroom and started breaking shit, and they wouldn't talk. Like they couldn't talk. I assumed. Me and my buddy were asking the person questions, and they just seemed to be in a shitty mood. So they went upstairs, brooding in silence, and then started breaking stuff. And then, like a couple weeks later, dude tells me the mushrooms were way stronger than he expected, and just out of nowhere, my face transformed into the devil, and he was just petrified and angry. So I don't like the trip set for people.
You ever seen people who are completely different on mushrooms? Like who are like normally happy people and they become like totally psycho, or vice versa?
Yeah.
No,
Not really.
not
Normally it takes you to the further level of yourself. I'm saying you're a douche, you're a bigger douche. You're funny, you're super funny. You know?
I've always seen it more of like a personality enhancer. Like you're saying, like, you know, I've never met anybody that like flipped their fucking shit unless they already had. Like, I don't believe that people that have multiple personality disorder or like anything like that should be taking mushrooms, period.
Yeah, no bipolar,
Like,
no schizophrenia in the family.
So,
For my friends, I'll ask them those questions.
Yeah, man. There's a person that we know who's very, very bipolar, and on their medication, they're extremely stable, and you'd never fucking know about it. But they jump off their meds pretty regularly and go on, you know, fucking craziness. And whenever they jump off their meds, the first thing they start reaching for is basically every drug they can get their fucking hands on. And they're a completely different fucking person on any sort of psychedelic. They're just they're very intense, and not something that I would ever want anybody to experience. They're not cool.
They can be pretty overwhelming in a manic episode, even without the drugs.
There's a picture of the Dr. Lonely's, the apple for the Dr. Lonely's that goes in the apple braggot. So,
in the baffle.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's a sticker that goes on the beer, the apple braggot I make, and everyone says Dr. Lonely's super special apple braggot, and has that picture like a big old fucking like 4-inch like decal on each bottle. And I mean, it's just, that would be great to make that like, you know, psychedelic. I think it would have a lot of fun. Like 2.5 grams in every bottle.
2.5% in quotes. 2.5% alcohol by volume.
Oh no, it's like it comes out to be like fucking a stupid amount, like 14% alcohol, like ABV is how when I brew it. It comes out fucking hard, but then, like a 6-pack is gonna get you fucking wasted. But what we should do is hide. One out of every 6-pack has 2.5 grams of fucking psilocybin in it. Right?
You are chosen poorly.
Yes.
Or no, you remember how they used to have the Coca-Cola cans where you open up the can and then you could like dollar bills would come out if you were the winner? Remember those back when we were kids?
Yeah, but didn't people like choke the fuck?
Yeah,
out
they
of
choked
shit
on
out
it.
of
Right.
Yeah,
But,
they were called cash cans. I found like 10
yes.
of them.
Yes. But I mean, you can imagine those, but you do that with
Well,
something else pops out.
They had to discontinue those right away because people like me figured out the tricks. I found one by accident, and I looked at it really carefully, and there's a silver sticker on the bottom of it where they filled it full of the shit that made it feel like it had a Coca-Cola in it. So I just went to the store and flipped over every can until I found the silver stickers and grabbed them.
You slimy
I figured it would have been like, because people would open the fucking can, choke the fucking shit out of it, pour the rolled up dollar bill.
Oh, you literally had to cut it open. It was dry inside our actual drinking cup.
Cool. That's the. Hey, why did they get rid of the super shiny nickel in Paydays?
The what?
Like the Payday candy bar. Did anybody remember that? The Payday candy bar had a brand new shiny fucking nickel in it.
I did not know that.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm not older than you fuckers. Why the hell do I know this? I grew up on that shit, like Payday candy bars. You know, like the ones that just like with the chocolate or the peanuts on.
What the fuck
right?
was that? Who would you sell off?
Psychonautics, because her cat probably.
I can eat the
on
soul.
Her cat determined that you were not worthy of.
So anyway, they used to have like a little plastic baggie inside the candy bar will be a brand new, newly minted, shiny nickel, and every candy
that could be because I never ate a Payday candy bar. Why I don't know about it?
Yeah, because they're fucking disgusting.
No, they're great. Fucking, I grew up on that shit. Goddamn,
they're disgusting.
That's the only word that comes to mind when I think of those.
I don't know how to spell it, but I know exactly the word you're talking about.
Goddamn kids. Oh, so we were looking at dogs because, like, you know, we're gonna get another dog for the ranch, right? You know, and we both like the giant schnauzer, right? Have you seen those guys? The giant schnauzers. They're fucking amazing. They make great police dogs. They're murder-tastic. It's like a 100 fucking pound schnauzer, right? But they're a working dog. They're like, you know, like bite people, that kind of fun stuff. And because they're like a giant fucking terrier, they're murdery, which is great for me. But I love it. I love the idea of the giant schnauzer. But the wife's like, "What do you want to name it?" Well, I'm listening to this fucking book series that's hilarious. And it has a character in there called Badgelor. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to name it Badgelor, which is like the Scottish, like, brogue talking badger who just, like, fucks everything up. And I'm like, yeah, Badgelor. And she's like, you're not allowed to name dogs anymore. I'm like, God damn it.
I think you should name it Grandpa. Those dogs look like little grandpas. The little ones and the big ones.
The big ones are solid fucking black. And the one that I'm looking at is a working line that's coming that will import from Europe, where they use them to like patrol the Chechnyan border and fucking bite the shit out of Russians. So like they use them in prison riots to control the goddamn riots. So because they just let them in there and let them eat people until everybody behaves. And I'm like, fuck yeah, it's a perfect dog for me and my family. But yeah.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah,
exactly.
Family friendly.
Nah, we'll give it as a puppy. It'll be fun. It'll just be super high. It'll just be super high drive. And I mean, I raised Malinois and Dutch Shepherds and Dobies and all sorts of different stuff. About, you know, like whole life's when I grew up.
What'd you call me? No.
And so, like, one of my first dogs as a child. What was y'all's first dog? Do you guys remember what your first dog was?
A Samoyed was my first dog.
Wow.
Dachshund.
That's because you're from fucking Eskimo territory.
I owned the Samoyed when I lived in Florida, sir.
Huh.
Mine was a chocolate lab.
My second dog was a chow.
And what was yours again, bud? Like you said.
First dog was a dachshund.
Dachshunds are cool.
A wiener dog.
They're murdery as fuck. Like they were designed to go down holes and kill badgers, man. Like they're badgers.
Badgers.
I only get the weak ones. The ones that just follow you around and just they're like a bed warmer.
Dude, one of my friends locally has one of those, and that fucking dog loves me to death. I have to search my car every time I leave his house because the fucker will sneak into my car and come home with me. Great dog. Love him.
They're
I
lovable.
used to hang out at this place, and every time I would come to visit, the dog would get so excited when I jump him. When I picked it up, it would piss on me.
Yep.
My first fucking dog ever, her name was Sasha, and she was a 90% timber wolf. That was my first fucking dog. I was like 5 years old.
You remind me of that guy on YouTube that has the pet coyote that's always fucking growling and biting.
Oh, I love that fucking guy. I'm going to totally get a pet coyote just because of that. But that was my first
Why are
fucking
you so
dog.
angry, puppy?
But that tells you about my parents' mindset, right? They're like, let's give this 5-year-old a 90% timber wolf, right? Like they're like, yeah, maybe he'll live, maybe he'll get eaten, whatever, right? Anyway, so I named her Sasha, and she got huge, like 200 fucking pounds, like fucking massive. And I had it forever, like ever and ever and ever. Probably 10 years or so, yeah, ish. But yeah, she finally just fucking got like hip dysplasia or some shit, and then cancer and died. But yeah, I had her forever and ever. She was a big fucking dog. But and then then I just immediately went right into Rottweilers and fucking all sorts of other crazy shit. But our family, everybody in our family had a dog, right? Like, so I had the dog, my brother had a dog, my sister had a dog, my mom had a dog, my dad had a dog. So everybody had a fucking dog. There was at least 5 dogs in the house at any one time. So we're used to dealing with like high drive, large dogs in packs. So I'm totally fucking down for that. But my wife won't let me have the dogs I want. So, and that's probably it's probably best that I have like somebody reining me in, because I could be like the crazy dog person if you left me alone.
Yeah, like the American bully dog.
I don't mind those. I think they're way overhyped. Everybody that I've met who's a responsible dog owner, who owns a pit bull, they're the biggest goddamn bitchy ass little babies in the entire fucking world.
I mean,
like my dog right now is a pit bull. She's the best dog in the world.
The American bully dog is like a pit bull, but about 4 times the size of a normal one.
I've seen, yeah. We had 2.
It looks like a fucking boxer, fucking muscle,
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah.
I used to have one of them.
We had the American bulldog. We had 2 of those big fucking bastards as our mascot for rugby. And 7733. I gotta delete that. That's too doxy. But that was our rugby team. It was a great dog. They were great dogs. They were super sweet though. Like, they weren't at all aggressive. They were super sweet. Like, everybody I've met that has supposedly aggressive or crazy dogs. Now, the only ones that I've met that are actually kind of fucking nuts are those like the Dutch Shepherds and the Malinois that come from working lines. They're a little fucking intense. Like, they're a little intense. Like, a lot. Like,
a lot.
I've never, yeah. Like, I'd say that they're about 11 out of 10. Whereas, like, pretty much every other dog, I haven't met a dog I really don't get along with. As far as like a breed of dog I don't get along with. Well, okay, I take that back. Yorkies. Fuck Yorkies. They're assholes.
Oh yeah, fuck them. My mom has a Yorkie. The first one was a piece of shit when she was a kid, and then she got another one as an adult, and that one was a piece of shit.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about Yorkies. Where the fuck they come from? Are they English? Is that where they're from? Yorkshire, England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Oh, isn't that the one with the Queen? The Queen always has those fucking stupid ass things?
No, she has the Queen Elizabeth, God bless her. She had corgis. I had a corgi a long time ago. Well, okay, I had a corgi for like 3 hours. So I found a fucking corgi, and I was like, oh, you're so awesome. And then I opened my truck door, and the corgi jumped in. And I was like, sweet, you're my corgi now. And then, like, 2 hours later, I found the microchip, and I was like, God damn it! And so
That was a rare
scanned.
Pokemon. You had it for a second there.
Yeah.
Is this a similar situation to the lady that was trying to take your dog while you're washing your car?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I hate people. Goddamn people, kids these days. But no, it was a cute dog, and I was like, wow. So if I ever got a chance again, I'd have my daughter has a little stuffed corgi. I don't know, maybe she'll end up with a corgi when we move. But I would have a couple of dogs. We got plenty of land. Might as well have a couple of dogs. Right now, we just have Mobits, little old ass fat freaking rat terrier who's like, what are you at? Well, like 15 now. Yeah, she's like 15 years old. But I've had her since she was like 4.5, 5 weeks old. She was still in a bottle when the people gave her to me. They just walked up to her and gave her to me. And I was like, what? Fuck. Okay, I guess I have a dog now.
How it works. You don't pick the dog picks you.
Oh, dude, she's been the best dog I've ever owned. Like, I've owned a lot of dogs. Well, okay, when she was little, terriers are intense dogs. And when she was little, she got like, I used to take her to work with me on the ambulance and everything. And then when we got a call, I'd just toss her in a crate and then go on the call, right? So I've had her like in my hip pocket my entire fucking life. And this one time I decided, hey, you know what? I'm not going to take you to work. I'm really fucking busy. I'm going to leave you home. So I left her in the bathroom with like food and like a water and everything like that. The psycho little fucking bitch went through the goddamn wall. She went through the fucking wall.
Jesus.
She went through the wall to go lay on the fucking bed because she was like, I can't be. She's like, I can't be without you. I need to be covered in your scent. And so she went through the fucking bathroom wall, through the fucking sheetrock, through the insulation, everything like that. Because like I got home and I go and I opened the door and then out like comes this wiggly little fucking dog that's gray from going through the fucking sheetrock. And I'm like, what the fuck are you covered in? Flour? Is that flour? You know? And then I get into the hallway and there's like insulation everywhere. I'm like, oh God, no. Little psycho. But,
Good times were had by all.
No. I have a lot of Bobit stories. Little psychopath. She had a friend that was a prairie dog. We had a prairie dog at the same time. That we got her, we already had a pet. I had a pet prairie dog. And prairie dogs actually make really good pets. They're very, very social. If you're going to get a prairie dog, get a female. Males go into heat once a year. And during that time, for about 6 weeks, they're just absolutely fucking rabid, will bite everything and fight everything, including their own reflection. And then after 6 weeks, they go back to being normal. But during that 6 weeks of insanity, they're like little caged Tasmanian devils. You don't want them. But the females are sweet 24/7 year round. So I had a fucking prairie dog, and prairie dogs, they can get pretty good size. Like when you're and we got this prairie dog because somebody brought it to the fire station. They found it like an eagle, I guess, had dropped it or something. It was all scratched the fuck up. It had holes in it from the talons. It's like it'd been chewed on. And so we just kind of like, we're like, well, you got nothing better to do. Let's fix it. And so we fixed it and like glued its skin back together and nursed it helped. And ta-da, we have a fucking, like mascot. And then it got better and they're like, let it go. And I was like, I mean, it just kind of lives here with everybody and it's potty trained. I think I'll just keep it as a pet. So, they're super easy to potty train because they only want to go potty in one spot, right? So, because they're predator averse. And kept it as a pet, and I introduced it to my dog, and they lived together and loved each other, except the fucking prairie dog burrowed into my fucking sofa, right? Like, it got under the sofa, and I was like, cool, it's just going to stay under the sofa. No, the motherfucker went under the sofa, then up through the bottom of the fucking sofa, and like through the fucking sofa and popped out the armrest. Son of a bitch.
Surprise!
And then the fucking dog, Bobits, is like, that looks like fun. Except she got stuck in there, panicked, and then chewed her way out the front. Oh, psycho. She was insane when she was little. Now she's old. Now she doesn't do anything but stare at the squirrels with hate in her eyes.
death.
Anybody have anything else to add to responsible drug use? Other than don't fucking dose people without their permission. Don't like crazy fucking dose newbies, and don't try to make things a negative experience unless you actually hate the person.
I got a few things.
Okay, please.
So trip sitters, you got to pick a good one. And that's a challenge in and of itself. But assuming you got a good one, even though you have no experience with them as your trip sitter, you probably want to set expectations for what it is that you expect for them to do. Because each person, if you don't tell them what you want them to do up front, then they're just going to do their own thing, whatever they think is best. And sometimes that can even fuck up the trip. Like when I want a trip sitter, I just want them to chill in the other room. I'm going to close my door. And if you hear me doing some wild shit, then come on in. But like, I don't even want the trip to be interrupted. I'm trying to go deep. So that's my expectations that I lay out for the trip sitters. Is like, I need you for X, Y, and Z. And that's it. Anything else, fucking dick around on your phone, do whatever you want to do. I got beers in the fridge. Just have at it. Just
and like keep you from driving or jumping out the window,
yeah, like don't let me do wild shit, basically. I'm probably not going to do any of that stuff, but like, common sense and like don't keep peeping your head in the door like if it's quiet, because I'm probably having a really great time. But that's like for me solo tripping, obviously. If
you don't want to see what's going on in here.
Yeah, I could be slithering around on the floor naked. I don't know. It gets weird. But yeah, trip sitters, you be a good judge of your trip sitter. Like if you don't trust that person sober, like with your safety, don't make them your trip sitter.
Don't grab a rando off the street and be like, "Hey, bro, you want to come over while I get fucked up?"
Like you can be very vulnerable on a deep psychedelic trip, and it's easy to fuck it up. So
wasn't that how? Like, what was that guy who used to kill all the serial killer? Didn't he used to get people fucking high and then like the gay community and then fucking kill them? Was it Dahmer or who was it? The guy that was.
I think didn't Manson used to get people fucked up on psychedelics and then kind of influence their thoughts.
But Manson was he had the whole cult thing going on. I think it was Dahmer.
Dahmer's the guy I'm thinking about. Yeah, where he'd like invite him over to try to get him high, and then he'd fucking like overdose him and then fucking do crazy shit to him.
Yeah, or it could be like Hannibal Lecter.
Put a drone
here's this here's this broken glass. I think you got something on your face there.
God, dude. I'd be so worried. I'm a good babysitter. I've been a babysitter many times, but I like to like kind of set the mood. But no, most of the time that I babysit for people, they've never done anything before, and so I have this really huge, ridiculously giant TV. That the story behind it is I broke my wife's TV, putting it in the car, and so she's like, "Well, you need to buy me a new TV." So I just went and bought like the biggest, fucking, most ridiculous TV that they fucking had. It literally takes up like one wall in the house. And so I always put on something fun to watch, give them the fucking drugs, and make sure they're all happy on the fucking sofa, and leave them alone there, And then like I'll go in a couple hours and offer snacks, or change the fucking movie or whatever. But I leave them the fuck alone there. But I like it. I mean, I like trip sitting. They've never bothered me. I keep them from doing stupid shit. Like, no, dude, it's only been an hour. You're not driving home. You're fucked up, right? Like, that kind of thing. But I don't mind trip sitting.
So I don't have a whole lot of experience in it, but I could do it, I think.
Beyond just mushrooms, I think there's shit that I see people do all the time. Even me when I was younger, that is just kind of reckless. Not using reagent test kits to just at least narrow down like what you might be taking. I think the reagent test kits are. Yeah. With them being available and them relatively cheap, at least you can rule out some of the scarier psychedelics that you really wouldn't want to accidentally dose. Like Bromo Dragonfly.
What the fuck is that?
that's if my memory serves right. There's a few psychedelics you could fit on blotter that are gonna give you a 24-hour long, maybe longer experience, and you're gonna have some psychosis in there because it's just gonna be too much. And nobody wants to signing up for a 12-hour long trip is one thing, but then finding out oh, this isn't slowing down and I'm worn out. That's nobody wants to deal with that.
Oh, those big I have never even heard of those. It must be some sort of crazy synthetic shit.
Yeah,
man, that would really fucking suck ass. I mean, I'm usually the guy that people get stuff from. Or at least my close friends, right? That's all I really give anything to. But and it's but I couldn't imagine trying to be like some dude on the street trying to source things because there's so much fucking scary ass shit out there. I haven't even heard of a bromo dragonfly. I'm gonna have to Google that and get on another list. But that sounds like something I'll come across at work. Fuck that. And then nowadays you can't trust anything you fucking find, because everything's intentionally fucked with. So I wouldn't trust anything. I trust capsules given to me by my core friends. If some of our little tight little group of friends trade stuff back and forth, totally cool. But some random person, I've had people hey man, I grew this really crazy mushroom. I want to send you some. Yeah. First off, you're not getting my address. Secondly, I don't trust what the hell you're going to give me.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
hey, don't take that, man.
A friend is way better because odds are they tried that batch first. It's always good to have someone test the batch first before you get it.
And if you're gonna grow your own mushrooms, that's a good point. You need to test your batches because some things, for me, I know that if it smells, to me, my nose is pretty sensitive. If it smells like really shitty chocolate, I'm talking about the old type doesn't melt at all fucking chocolate. So if it smells like really shitty chocolate, then I know it's strong. But I always try stuff, and when I try things, I try a gram. And I see if I do it on an empty stomach and I take it with some sort of acid, like orange juice or a lemon techid or something like that. And I just want to see how a gram as a baseline affects me. And then from there, I can go, okay, well, this is nothing. I can easily give somebody, 3 grams of this or that gram. And I'm like, whoa, that's some strong shit.
I think that's a best practice as a if you're just a consumer, if you don't cultivate and you're just consuming, you got little information to go off of. One person might say that whatever you're getting is super strong, and the next person is going to be like, it's all right. And if you don't know any better, if all you've had is shitty mushrooms and you thought that those were good mushrooms, and then here's your first actual decent mushroom, and you just go into it not doing a tester dose, a 1 gram tester dose, and you just go straight into 3.5. I mean, there's certain strains where you're going to be unpleasantly surprised. You're going to be thinking, I'm going to have a good Friday. And it's just oh my God, I'm meeting God right now. I did not prepare myself for this.
In the middle of Target.
So yeah, always test stuff. Don't just take somebody's word for it, because they might say it's all right, and you're like, well, this last stuff I had was all right to me, but maybe you've never had really good something. It could be anything. So
yeah, same with if something's dosed in pills. It always seems to me that it's easier to start low because you can always take more, right? But wait an hour and then you can take some more to bump up your high if you're not high enough. But you can't untake fucking shit. So if you jump in right off the bat and you're like, oh, I've never even heard of Enigma. It sounds like bullshit. I'm going to take 5 grams.
Yeah.
And
see you tomorrow.
Yeah. And then you're like, fuck. But if you take I've never heard of Enigma. I'm going to try 1 gram to just see how it is. You're like, fuck. Then it's much, much less of a fuck than 5 fucking grams of some crazy shit you never tried, like Lizard King or tits or ape or something like that. That's pretty strong. You definitely want to try small. If you had just obtained something like, say, a chocolate bar from someone or something like that, you want to start small. You can always build up your dose throughout the trip by taking more and more and more, but give it enough time for what you've taken to actually fully hit you. Also, another thing is to take it with some sort of acid. And if you take stuff right after eating a fucking giant meal of pasta or a ton of, a giant meal of freaking pasta or a whole bunch of freaking pizza or some shit like that, it's going to take a lot longer for it to like hit you, or than it is going to take you on an empty stomach.
You might barf it all up too, and that can be pretty unpleasant.
Well, that's why you're supposed to do. That's why you're supposed to fast, though.
Yeah,
if you're doing it correctly.
I find that taking stuff on an empty stomach works out a little bit better anyway. I don't. There's very few strains that I work with personally that cause me to be nauseous. I know that it's strong and it's going to be a good trip if I start getting the yawning.
Right?
Like if I start yawning, I'm like,
if you get through that, you're good.
If I'm like, oh shit, I'm yawning right off the bat. Like the other day when me and Deadpool we're talking with the guy who was bringing up all the PTSD shit, and we decided to go and get fucked up and take like just enough. I thought I was taking enough to enjoy, like, to just kind of like relax and be able to share the whole PTS journey with this dude. And I ended up taking a very strong strain and taking way too much of it. And about 20 minutes in, I'm yawning my ass off. I'm like, oh boy, we're going to go for a ride.
Ruh-roh.
So knowing your body and knowing how your body reacts and if it's going to be a strong reaction or not. But I find that certain strains cause me to be nauseous and I just avoid them.
The ones with the really rapid come up for me, I'm not a fan of those. I like my other drugs to work that way, but not my mushrooms. So there's like PESH Hawaiian, Melmac seems to do that to me.
I've had nausea on Melmac, like pretty serious nausea on Melmac. But I have not, the fastest come up I've ever had was on our personal strain of Lizard King within our group, the one that we just accidentally isolated correctly, and it's super fucking potent. And that one is just surprise, you're fucking high. Like you go from between like there's 30 seconds ago you were sober, and now the walls are moving.
There's a unicorn in the house.
Yeah, there's no real come up. It's just like, bam, bitch, you motherfucking high, and
slapped with it.
Yeah, and that one, no nausea for me, and no yawning like for that one. Like it just happens too quick. It's just bam, you're fucking high. And that one would be one that I would probably not do with a beginner. Like it would go to teachers, something mild with a predictable like come up and a predictable go down and predictable effects. Something like that would be a good
give the new people something so they can dip their toes in the water, so to speak, instead of just throwing them into the deep end of the pool.
Fucking swim or drown, motherfucker.
And that's why I've never liked people who are like serious fucking potheads to be the goddamn person to introduce somebody to pot, right? Because they're all like, "No, man, do like a big fucking Hadley hit," and
take a dab, bro.
Yeah,
take a dab with us.
Yeah, they're like fucking couch locked and nauseated and fucking shit like that for the next like 6 hours, and it's like that doesn't stop pleasant, man. Like it doesn't matter what it is. If you're going to introduce somebody to some sort of substance, introduce them responsibly.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, you don't want to scare them away from psychedelics in general, just because for I don't know, one night of amusement, some selfish amusement out of this person's bad reaction.
So I got a story, and one of the reasons I don't like weed. I don't do weed. I don't fuck. It doesn't agree with me. And part of the reason it doesn't agree with me is because this fucking story. Long time ago, when I was a fucking kid, I was probably like 13 years old, and we used to hang out with this older, because my parents were extremely irresponsible, right? I mean, they gave me a goddamn wolf when I was 5 years old, right? Could have eaten me. They wouldn't have cared. Whatever. He's on his own path. YOLO. Well, we used to hang out with this much older lady. She was like in her mid-20s, super fucking pothead. And we just used to hang out there, not because she's a babysitter, just because she'd feed us, right? Basically. Except her name was Alyssa. Like, shout out, Alyssa, if you're fucking listening, you're fucking hot still in my head when I was 13. So, like, and so she was, attractive. We were 13 fucking years old. And me and my brother used to fucking hang out with her. My brother was like 12 at the time. I was 13 at the time. We used to hang out over there because she had a fucking TV. She was attractive, and she, like, fed us because she'd smoke pot all day and then, cook. And we ate food. It was cool. Good trade-off. Well, she was like, hey, you guys want to try this? Like, take a hit, right? And it was, and she was like, oh, no, not a little one like that. Then, like, a big one. And so we were like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah. We're going to show off that we're like real men to Alyssa. So we took like huge fucking hits, and then just like super fucking nauseous, super fucking sick. Just sit there. Movement fucking made me nauseous. Everything was just completely unpleasant for like 6 fucking hours. Just totally fucking unpleasant. And ever since then, I've been like, I've always exposed, like, associated the two of it being an unpleasant experience. I've done edibles, and I've been like, but I always do such a small amount. I guess it'd be like microdosing an edible, right? I was doing such a small amount that
call that a nibble.
Yeah, I'm
the same way. I like 5-10 milligrams is like comfortable for me, unless I'm trying to force myself to go to sleep for 12 hours.
Yeah, I was doing like such a small amount that I just get a little body high. But at the same time, like, I'm the guy who'd be like, wait, mushrooms? Fuck yeah, I'll take a couple grams. Like, it doesn't, like, mushrooms, not at all. But like, fucking marijuana. And my wife fucking smokes all the time. So you want to hit this? I'm like, fuck no. Doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I just have such a negative past experience. And I think that if we could erase that negative past experience, and my wife could have introduced me to marijuana the correct way by being a responsible fucking person and not being a douche for your own entertainment, then it would have, maybe I would enjoy edibles, or maybe I would enjoy, hitting a freaking little marijuana every once in a while after a long day's work where my joints hurt, because I'm getting old, man. We all are. Pretty much all of us on this freaking podcast. We're getting to the point where we're a little bit older in life where we still work really fucking hard and put in those 12, 14, 16, 18 hour days. In my case, sometimes 36 hours before I get a nap. And my joints hurt, my feet hurt, my fucking hands hurt. And sometimes Pam and the painkiller of that would probably be a good thing. But I've had such a negative reaction with it, or now get an introduction, I guess, to it, that nope. Fucking swore off that shit.
Deadpool, do you smoke?
Very rarely. I'm one of those people that if I want to take a nap, I'll just take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, maybe like a toke or something, and I'll sit back and giggle and drool myself and hang out and eat some donuts or something, I guess. But yeah, no, it's not one of the things that I go out of my way to do it all ever.
I tried for like 10 years to incorporate weed into my routine and like try to be productive also. That was the big thing I was trying to do. Is I see all my friends smoke weed and be productive, and it didn't slow them down. But for me, I could just never get the hang of that. I would just stare and drool every time I smoked. And it didn't really matter like how much. It just takes very little for me. I can't be productive with weed, unfortunately.
And see, my wife is a super high energy person, right? I think I've done a pretty decent job of explaining her kind of super high perky energy throughout this podcast. If everybody's a long-term listener here, is that she's a very, very high energy person. That's her on weed. Off fucking weed, she's intolerable. Right? Like that's my wife. That's my wife smoking weed every day, like several times a fucking day. Like she gets a break at work, she fucking hits the weed. She wakes up in the morning, she hits the fucking weed. And for her, it evens her fucking personality out and mellows her down to where she doesn't need to be on any sort of drug that would fucking like calm her down, because she's super high energy, like a really, really happy puppy, and that kind of wants to stab you. So, so she's super, super creative, and she's always been super creative. And in her job, she has to be super creative, and it doesn't affect her at all. All it does is mellow her the fuck out enough that she could actually focus on her work. And to me, it would just destroy me. Like I would be like, and then just like sleep for the next couple of days. Now, I will say I had some really, really, really cool fucking dreams on taking an edible once. Like they came in these gummy worms from Colorado. My friend brought them down, and he was like, "Hey man, you need to try one of these." I was like, "I'll just cut a little piece off." He was like, "Nah, man, eat a whole gummy worm." And so I ate a whole gummy worm, and I hadn't seen this friend in like maybe 4 years, and they fucking showed up with the stupid gummy worms. And within 30 minutes, I was asleep. I had some cool fucking dreams and missed their whole visit. But super high definition dreams. And I dream lucidly and dream like super high definition anyway. But you know what was weird? Is that I don't know if it was just the after effects of the THC, but I didn't dream again for like 4 or 5 days after that. When I went to sleep, I
think that's normal.
I went to sleep and there was just like a blank spot, and I woke up. Right. And that is highly unusual for me. I usually dream. If I take a 2-minute fucking nap, I'm having a dream. Like I dream every time I go to sleep. So it was really, really weird to me to have that like 4 or 5 days. I was like, am I ever going to dream again?
Yeah. If you listen to sleep experts on, YouTube lecture about the things that you should do before bed, they recommend just abstaining from cannabis because there's a number of reasons, but one of the weird quirks with it is that it's great at suppressing dreams and also like making it more challenging to reach certain sleep states. So I guess whatever state of sleep you're in that would normally generate a dream.
Oh, interesting. I'd never heard of that.
So I didn't dream for 10 years. I thought it was impossible. I didn't know what it was. It was the weed, apparently.
Yeah, well, that was weird. It took like 4 or 5 days before I started having dreams again. And it was like, to me, it was kind of scary because I'm used to having these crazy vivid dreams, and I lucid dream. So even if the dream starts off scary, I know I'm asleep and I know I'm dreaming. And so I can kind of like, no, we're not going to remember that whole shooting people in Iraq thing. We're going to come over here and build a new farm. Or we're going to go over here and like construct our own island paradise, or something else. So I can always like steer the dreams and do what I want with them. 9 times out of 10.
That's what I always end up doing. Is mine are always like the end of the world. I'm like one of a few people, or blah blah blah, or anybody that's there. They don't have faces, but I'm always just building like my base. That's what it's about. Building my
base building is
base.
Fun.
Yes, I'm going around grabbing all my cinder blocks, all my electrical parts, and it's just a mansion of my manly caveness. It's beautiful.
Well,
I got a weird one for you guys.
All right, go for it.
So I noticed this within myself with combining weed and psychedelics, specifically mushrooms. And I've heard from other people that they've had the same experience where they liked weed all the way up until they started doing mushrooms, and now they suddenly don't like weed as much because it's more, I guess it feels more psychedelic than it ever did before they took psychedelics. And it used to just chill them out. And then after they trip, I don't know how many times it takes, but I guess after their exposure to mushrooms, maybe it's high dose only, but then they suddenly have this aversion to the weed. It doesn't do the same thing for them after they've fucked around and found out. Have you guys heard of anyone that's gone through that?
My wife, when she gets depressed, she'll take a dose of mushrooms, but it doesn't. It never makes her want to leave smoking weed. Like, I'd rather have my wife on marijuana than I'd rather have my wife on a prescription med. There, when she was pregnant, she had to stop smoking weed, and well, obviously, she stopped doing anything at all. And from starting for a few weeks out from when we decided to conceive, to all the way until she was well done with breastfeeding, and so it was like well over a year and a half, I guess, as where she had not done any sort of weed or anything at all, and she kind of sucked. She was an anxious little ball of fucking energy and like super hyper without direction. And so when she got done, they gave her a prescription for I can't even remember what the fuck it was, but it was some sort of like ADD or ADHD medicine. And it worked, but it was very expensive. And so when the time after the baby and everything was born, like the insurance went away, and because at the time we were super poor, and then or at least we weren't married, so that she got free insurance. There's a pro tip for you guys: don't get married until after you've had all your children, so that you can get on WIC. Pro tip. Anyway, so her insurance went away, and so they didn't ever re-up the medication, and so she had this crazy rebound from it, and it was the only time that we've ever had like a serious fucking fight. Right? Is in her rebound state, she was super paranoid. Like everything was paranoid. I was singing in the shower, and she had like these thoughts that I was singing to another woman. I'm like, I'm alone in the shower. Who am I singing to? Right? It's like no one's here. The dog's not even in the fucking shower, like the bathroom. There's nobody. And I was like, you know what? It's time for you to start smoking weed again. And that was it. And she, like the baby had already been off baby milk and was on formula, and right back to being normal, happy, slightly stabby wife.
Nice.
So for her, it works really, really well. And it's something that I don't ever want to be without in a shit hit the fan situation. Just because of the benefits for my wife.
She's a forced pothead, is what you're telling me.
She's a, what did you call me?
Oh, a forced pothead.
No, forced. It's just she's a much nicer person on it than off it.
So you're forcing her to be a pothead to save you from being stabbed.
No, she knows. And it's like a self-medication thing. There's just something going on with her brain.
Not in a bad way.
It's just something with her brain chemistry, where her brain chemistry really likes those the what do you call them? The cannabinoid like receptors or whatever they're called. What receptors are they? The ones in the brain that like
cannabinoid.
Yeah, the cannabinoid receptors or whatever. Maybe she was born with too little of them or too many of them. I don't know. Whatever the fuck. But it helps regulate the amount of dopamine that her fucking brain is releasing, and helps control her fucking mood. And not only her mood, but her concentration as well. And I've seen that with some people who are super fucking ADD and ADHD, that if they smoke weed or they do weed or cannabis, that they can concentrate on shit. And that's why they've been pushing for like the CBD gummies and blah, blah, blah. And maybe that works the same way. I don't know. But I do know that my wife doesn't get fucking like high. She doesn't get high anymore. She's been doing it for so fucking long that there's no she doesn't get high. Like she doesn't get couch locked high or giggly or even really feel anything anymore. It's just smooths out the peaks and valleys.
Gotcha.
I got two more, one big tip and one obvious one.
Okay.
For safe dosing, especially when you're out with friends and you're just getting a a whole big platter of options of what to take.
Go big or go home.
A general rule of thumb that I always try to stick to is just don't mix psychoactive drugs into a cocktail, because the synergy between some of them is just ridiculous. And if you've never done it before, you can't really know like how strong that the combo is going to react. Even just between cannabis and mushrooms, there's a synergy there. But then people are out at raves doing like, they'll take one ecstasy and then they'll take a bunch of LSD, and then later that night they're going to try something else. And it's like, it might start out awesome, but then like by that third thing, you never really know which one's going to be the one that pushes you too far. So
when they wake up in Mexico missing a fucking kidney.
Yeah. And
happens.
I think it's a little easier to be open-minded to trying another thing while you're already on one thing. So,
well, if they're feeling good, they get that push. Like, hey, I could feel better, and it's like probably not. No, I think you're at peak good. You're okay right now. You're not going to feel better. You're going to feel fucking. It's going to turn bad. You feel fucked.
Yeah, I've taken just a little too much of MDMA. I hate pressed pills. That's another thing. Don't trust the pressed pills. I heard something recently in the news about pressed pills that used to be safe, relatively, ecstasy pills containing fentanyl now. Like,
yeah, it's been a while. It's been around for a long time now.
Yeah. So my theory on that is that it's part of the whole. China flooded the cartels with cheap as fucking shit fentanyl, and I think they're doing it to kill fucking Americans. I mean, and people are going to call me crazy.
It certainly looks that way.
I guarantee you, 4 or 5 years from fucking now, after we're balls deep in World War fucking III, everybody's going to be like, yeah, no, that's totally a thing. They were just, it was just part of the new Cold War, is that they were just flooding the fucking market with a whole bunch of deadly fucking drugs intentionally to try to kill off fucking people. And
yeah, because I can't picture anyone that knows what MDMA does. Like, I can't picture anyone thinking, what a really good stack would be for this ecstasy? Some fentanyl. That would go great in this mixture of things.
They flooded the cartels with fentanyl. I mean, at times they were giving 55 pounds at a time, away. Just here, do something with it. And so the cartels were like, great, let's do something with it. Holy shit, the shit's strong. The cartels don't want to kill the drug users. They don't want to. But they were getting financial incentives to add it to stuff. So they've started dosing the fucking shit out of everything. And it hasn't been like Sinaloa or any like some of the regular fucking cartels. Is these little bitty fuckers that are just like trying to be little upstart bastards who are cranking out a whole bunch of these deadly fucking shit, just simply because they're getting paid to. And they get free fucking product, and then on top of that, they're getting paid to fucking push it. So I think it's part of like Cold War fucking 2.0. That's my own personal theory, having seen it on the streets and seeing what it's doing and seeing where it's coming from. It looks like Cold War 2.0.
Yeah,
there's no way. There's no fucking way that the cartels know it's not a weapon. That the people who are manufacturing it know that one fucking pill. Sometimes we're seeing people that are taking one little pill that was labeled ecstasy, right? With looks like exactly, it's like it's got the fucking punch in it and everything. One little fucking pill that has 2 fucking grams of goddamn fentanyl in it. So 10 times a deadly dose. Where it's taken us 16 to 18 milligrams of Narcan to bring a person back. But a normal dose of Narcan for a heroin overdose is 2 milligrams. So you're like, there's no fucking way that they don't.
And then you got the carfentanil too, which is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Nobody's pressing pills safely with that stuff. We don't have the equipment.
You can't. The only way to do that is to be in micrograms, not milligrams. But it's like we're talking about you would need 250 to 500 micrograms per maybe quarter of a cup to a cup of product, right? And even then, you're going to get an effect off of it. The doses for carfentanil are so tiny in humans that it's just not something you could safely do outside of a hospital.
Yeah, you need like very expensive lab equipment to make that pill.
And even in the hospital, when we're using fentanyl, when I'm giving fentanyl to somebody, I have vials of it that are 100 micrograms. It's 100 micrograms of fentanyl that's in like 2 milliliters of water, right? And so I draw that up into a syringe, and so I'll squirt out, 2 fucking milliliters of water out of a flush, and then I'll draw up that. So now I'll have, basically 10 to 10. So 10 micrograms per 1 milliliter, right? So now I'll give that, and then I can give 70, 50, whatever I need to do for that person. Or if they have like a broken femur, I'll give them all 100. But then after I give them a loading dose, now it's just 100 micrograms. This is not a milligram. It would take, 1,000 of the micrograms to make a milligram, right? So I'm giving them 100 thousandths of a milligram. So I will take that, then those micrograms, 100 micrograms, and I'll inject it into a 100 milliliter bag, my second dose. And then I'll just use the dial on the bag to set it to where it's dripping 17 drops a minute, 10 drops set. There's 100 mils an hour. So I'll set my infusion to give the rest of their meds over an hour period. So when we're giving narcotics to people, it's very tiny amounts and having a huge effect. And then you go out there on the street and shit, you're going to go buy a fucking Molly, and it might have 250 to 500 milligrams of fucking fentanyl in it. All right, so you're at 5,000% the therapeutic injectable dose. So scary fucking shit, man. I would not take a pressed pill in America right now at all.
No pressed pills. Not even for the other stuff. It used to be able to get pressed pills of Xanax, and they were shockingly decent. They seemed like they were evenly distributed, but now those were one of the first ones to get tainted with the fentanyl. So can't do that anymore.
There's no way I would do any sort of pressed product. And even then, I mean, I would trust chocolate or a mushroom or something given to me by one of you fucking guys, but I wouldn't trust rando fucking, Skippy Von Nipple shits on the street. I don't know what the fuck's in there. If he's gonna have me some,
how'd you know my dealer's name?
You just can't trust fucking people anymore because the shit's so cheap. They think, oh, hey, I got this. I can fucking mix it in. No, you can't, buddy. Not safely. It's such a tiny amount. And another thing I'd like to address here is that you see all these videos of these cops, they get a little bit of the powder on them, and then all of a sudden they fucking fall over and pass out. Guys, I hate to tell you, it's not skin absorbable. It doesn't absorb in the skin. I've bathed in fentanyl. You cannot absorb it through your fucking skin. They're LARPing. What happens is they've been told a million fucking times, if you even look at this shit sideways, you're gonna fucking pass out and die. And so they do. It's the same reason that if you go overseas and you're shooting people that don't watch a lot of action movies, like say heathen fucking Iraqis, and you're shooting them, they don't just die when you shoot them. But you come to America and you shoot a fucking American and they fall down and die because that's what's supposed to happen in the movie. Right? That's just people go into a state of mental shock when you shoot them in America. But you go shoot somebody that's overseas and those little bastards just don't die. You have to shoot them several times. Because they don't know they're supposed to die. I'm serious. It's a fucking mental thing. It's the same thing with a deer. If you don't hit the fucking deer just goddamn right, it runs off into the fucking forest. But if you shoot a fucking person in the arm, they go sheet fucking white, freak the fuck out, sit down, hyperventilate, throw up, go into shock, and fucking die.
The American's going to go down like Deadpool in that scene where he gets shot, and then he's just like, all right, this is my last few minutes. Oh, this is taking way longer than expected.
Yeah.
No. No, man. I've seen some people. I've seen a dude at a gun show once shoot himself in the fucking foot with a 22 long rifle, thinking it was unloaded. Scream he's going to die, pass the fuck out, and then send himself into ventricular fibrillation just from a massive adrenaline dump because he believes he's going to die. And we ended up shocking him.
What was that? What was that one called on Lethal Weapon with when he was on the ice rink and got shot? He's like, "Oh, that sounded like a blank shot or something like that. He's gonna die. You got to get him to the hospital." Got shot. Remember, he got shot in the ass.
Oh,
when Pesci.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that? Damn it! Not to go watch Lethal Weapon.
But people get it in their fucking head, they're gonna fucking die, and then they just fucking die. That's just what they do.
Speaking of that,
tell people,
Speaking of that thinking that you're gonna die thing, that's a real thing on mushrooms. I don't think a lot of people realize that can totally happen, and if you don't know that could happen, the whole being convinced that you're gonna die thing, because you ate too much and it's first time ever getting that blasted. It can make you panic pretty hard, and it's good to know that is a thing that exists, and we call it ego death, or just taking too much mushrooms. So if you're sitting there one night thinking like, holy shit, I fucked up, one of those mushrooms must have been a deadly one or something, who knows? Your mind can come up with some crazy shit. I've had one of those experiences before I knew what ego death was. It happened to be the best trip of my life. So
I would also I'd like to throw something in there. We got to wrap this up, but I'd like to throw something in there about thinking you're going to die and shit like that, and then calling for an ambulance. We don't care. We're not going to judge you. We also don't give a shit if you're doing fucking drugs or not. We just want to know what drugs you did, so we know if you didn't just take a lethal dose of fucking fentanyl or some shit. But we really don't give a shit. We might come into your fucking house. You got pot and fucking marijuana and shit everywhere. We're not the cops. We don't give a fuck. We don't care. If you show up at the hospital because you've had your friends dropped you off because you're freaking the fuck out, the hospital also does not care. Nobody gives a fuck. All they're gonna do is, if you go to the hospital, it's gonna be moderately unpleasant. Only because there's bright fucking lights, a bunch of people asking you questions. They're gonna start an IV, draw some fucking blood, and everything else. And we've seen a lot of people recently who have been doing edibles that are way too fucking strong. People have been extracting the THC and then putting it into fucking make do-it-yourself gummies and shit they saw on TikTok, and they come out way 300 times too much strong. Especially with the new Levos or Levo or whatever the fuck that thing is, my wife's got up there in the refrigerator. Making way too strong of fucking extracts, and then freaking the fuck out and thinking they're going to die. The best bet for that shit is, it would not hurt you if you're going to be a tripper to have one of those little blood pressure fucking machines around so you can see that you're not going to fucking die. Because if you just if you go to the hospital, it's going to be expensive and they're just going to laugh at you. Right? They're not even going to, they're just going to give you some normal saline. There's no antidote. They're just going to give you some normal fucking saline, turn the goddamn TV on the room, and leave the bright lights on. So it's not like you're going to be in a quiet room watching goddamn cartoons in the hospital. No. And they're not even going to feed you. They're just going to let you ride it the fuck out in a bright-ass white fucking room. And then when you're done, they're going to hand you a bill and you're going to go home. You could just save yourself the fucking problem by proving yourself you're not going to die with the blood pressure machine. That they're fucking $20 at Walmart. And then, just staying the fuck home. But if you honestly feel like you're going to fucking die, go to the hospital or call 911. Nobody's going to fucking throw you under the bus for it because we don't give a shit. Most of us do drugs too. So it's you're going to be
I had known that early on.
Yeah, nobody's going to give a shit. A lot of the times, if you call for an ambulance, we're going to be like, are you serious? Do you have anybody you can call? Do you have a friend that you bought this from? Or a brother or a sister, somebody you can call. And what we're trying to do is not trying to nail somebody with a drug charge, because we're not cops. We're trying every other fucking way we can to find you a trip sitter besides taking you to the hospital where it's going to be a bad experience. We're just like, because if you could find somebody that they could just put on fucking Scooby-Doo and give you some goddamn ice cream and turn the lights down and you'll be fine. Or you could go to the fucking hospital and everybody's going to be like, ha ha ha, this motherfucker can't handle their animals, and then that's it. Like, because we don't care. The hospital doesn't give a shit. They're just all there to give you a bill. They don't care. They're not going to report you unless you're in a house full of fucking meth with a kid. They're not going to give a shit. They're not going to give a shit at all. They're just not. We just don't give a shit. Half of the fucking doctors are goddamn microdosing when they're actually there treating you. So nobody cares.
Do they like the microdose of the mushrooms or the acid more when they're at work?
A fuckload of them microdose mushrooms. A fuckload. We're talking probably of the ones that of the ER doctors that I know, probably about 30%. Yeah, at least 30% are on microdose every day of fucking psilocybin.
That's wild.
Yeah, and of nurses, the number's higher. They
gotta pretend to care about the patient. The microdose works wonders with that.
Yeah, well, they get the little compassion, but but as far as like night nurses, day nurses not so much. There's something wrong with them. But like night nurses, like, but your nighttime overnight nurses in the ghetto, a lot of them are on some sort of substance. It might be that they have a lot of them are addicted to pills. So if it's like ADD and ADHD medicine, but the ones that aren't, there's been a big movement within the medical community to get away from that and get into something like doing like a stamen stack, where they're doing like
and
niacin and fucking psilocybin. Yep. So they're doing stuff like that, and you're going to get better care from those people than you would from somebody who just don't give a fuck.
I don't want somebody who's on Adderall unless they're like like fixing a major problem, like fixing my cancer or something like that. I want house. I want kind of a dickhead that's going to get the job done right.
But yeah, so I'd say now this is only the doctors that I fucking know. And I'm not saying I know every fucking doctor, but I know a lot of the nighttime doctors across a very large area, and probably about 30% are on a microdose of some type, and then of those, about 85% are proponents of psilocybin. They like it. They like the idea of it. They're open to talking about it. If you wanted to talk to them about it, they're gonna fucking chill and talk to you for 30 minutes about psilocybin. Like, they're not gonna go like, "Ew, you're on fucking mushrooms." They'll be like, "Hey, that's pretty cool. Hey, I've heard about this. I've heard about that." Like, if you're open to talking to them, they're gonna talk to you. But most of the time, if you're to the point where you have to go to the fucking hospital, you're so out of your goddamn mind that whatever. As long as you're not freaking the fuck out and trying to bite people, they're just gonna put you in a fucking room and ignore you. And they're going to charge you thousands of dollars for it. You can stay home and watch Scooby-Doo and you're fine. So that's why when we show up, we ask you, like, hey, are you sure there's nobody we could call? Your mom, your grandma, next door neighbor, a friend, relative, the guy you bought drugs from, like anybody who could come over here and just be like, sit with you for an hour or two until you stop freaking out. Because, this is going to be expensive, and it's going to have the same outcome. You're going to get sober and walk a shame out of here, or you could get sober and just roll over in bed and go, "God damn, that was a trip," So
yeah, have your trip killer ready, and save yourself the money.
Yeah, do smaller doses and work your way up to big ones. Don't jump in both feet right off the goddamn back, kids.
You got the rest of your life to mess around with big doses. No need to rush it.
Yeah. And don't super dose your significant fucking other and then expect them to love you.
Jesus. Yeah, no dosing other people that
no,
that's not cool.
Here, drink this does not work with that.
No.
No.
I would be
That is-
terrified. I'd never want a psychedelic experience that way. I would be completely averse to ever trying them. If that was my first exposure to mushrooms or acid or maybe even Molly, because my heart pumps like crazy on that stuff.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Well, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this episode up. Normally, when we come to the end of an episode, we like to go around and say something positive to kind of like, leave everybody with a positive message. And we always start with Deadpool because we like to throw him under the bus. Deadpool, what do you got for us?
I don't know. How about la. Well, big, fuck it. Go big or go home. Because if life doesn't break you today, don't worry, because it's going to try again tomorrow.
8 gram dose.
Boof it! Just boof it! Yeah. And Jim, what do you got for us, buddy?
How about this? Sometimes life is just like mushrooms. Good things come in smaller packages.
Yes, like midgets. Yeah.
Yes. Midget porn.
What do you got for us, buddy?
I'm trying. Trying to think.
Oh. It can just be any sort of positive message.
Enjoy the small stuff, because you never know when that stuff's really gonna make all the world to you. You might get sick later and miss the things that you took for granted. So take a moment, smell the roses. They're always there.
Nice. That's some good shit. God damn it. Now, fuck. Everybody had hopeful shit. Let's see.
Wait. I had hopeful shit? I gotta do that again, then. I fucked up.
You had helpful shit. Yeah.
Oh, helpful. All right.
Yeah, you had helpful shit. Let's see. Coming from me, it's going to be enjoy your drugs responsibly. If you have any sort of questions, you can get a hold of, you can call one of those dial a nurse like numbers if you're a local hospital, or you can talk to a fucking nurse if you have questions about a fucking drug you took. 90% of the time, they're obligated to fucking say, yeah, you should come in and get checked. But if you just ask them like, hey, seriously, I kind of feel okay, but I think we're kind of tripping balls a little bit, they're going to be like, yeah, you're probably okay. Just wrap up in a fuzzy blanket and fucking turn on 2 cartoons. Or dial a friend, something like that. Make sure that drugs are, in my opinion, drugs are best shared with loved ones. I've always had better experiences in groups than I have alone.
Oh yeah, that's always the case.
Yeah,
have that friend on speed dial, and hopefully you'll still remember how to use your phone when you're tripping balls.
If you're tripping fucking balls and you're having a bad goddamn time and you shoot me a fucking message on Discord, like, I'm gonna answer you, and then we might voice chat for a little while and see if you're doing okay. Right? I'm not gonna turn you down. If something's bad's going on, you want to just fucking talk it out. Because you got lizard people fucking coming out of the goddamn walls telling you that you need to sacrifice your cat. First off, I'm not going to stop you from sacrificing your cat. I hate cats. But secondly, I'm going to try to talk you down. And that's just because we love our fucking listeners. We love everybody. Love you guys. If you want to ever get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us through the Discord. If you want to send us a line, you can get us at the fatfocult@gmail.com. If you want any sort of substrate, some spawn, grain spawn, agar, any sort of good shit, you can always get it from Deadpool in our Discord. You can get a hold of him through our Discord. Link will be included in the show notes below. If you'd like to send us some money, and we promise to use it for nothing but pure debauchery and to keep the show going, you can send us money you can send us money on Venmo, and it's going to be at FAFOCult, or on Cash App, that'll be $FAFOCult. All of that will be included in the show notes below, and we love you guys. Thank you for listening. Europe, you guys are picking up a shitload of people, a little over 10%, almost approaching 11% now coming out of Europe. So doing a lot better. There, as far as the parts in America really picking up steam, is Colorado. You guys are either did Colorado decriminalize mushrooms?
It's legal there.
Oh God,
just a bunch of VPNs.
those bastards are listening a lot, man. Out of whatever. We still love you, Colorado. Even though everything's gotten really fucking expensive now, the cartels have moved in to grow all the weed. But whatever, still love you. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign off for this episode. Thank you for coming on this crazy-ass ride with us. And we really appreciate having our guest guy coming on today, even though we really didn't get a chance to introduce him to everybody very much. He'll have his own Mindfully Melting is going to be his Discord. And we will have him on for a FAFO Monday here shortly and let him tell his entire story. It'll be super fun because he seems like a really good guy and very knowledgeable. Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate you, and we love you.
Thank you, guys.
Stay safe.
Laters. Smooches.